Hello everybody, welcome back to our video series. I'm joined today by Stuart and Chris from Forcepoint. I hope everyone's had a great start to the year. I'll hand over to you guys. Do you want to give a bit of context about your role and a bit of an overview about Forcepoint in general?
Sure, Chris.
Yeah, I'll go first. So, good morning, Tom. So I'm Chris Sherry. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Europe at Forcepoint. And I'm responsible for sales across the whole of that theatre. So I have 7 sub-regions, around about 40 salespeople cover that theatre, and I've been with Forcepoint for probably about 2.5 years now.
Yeah, so Stuart Wilson. So I head up the sales engineering function for UK and Ireland and other regions across Europe. So work alongside Chris and the rest of his team. I guess I'm the veteran here today, so I've been in Forcepoint for just over 12 years now.
Perfect, thanks for that. So just on that then, can you sort of update our channel partners with your view from the bridge and sort of dive a bit deeper into your go-to-market for 2025?
Yeah, I'd love to do that, Tom. So listen, we're just coming off the back of a really successful FY24. We brought the business out on plan, which I was absolutely delighted about. We closed out a really strong Q4. And we just back from our sales kickoff in Las Vegas last week, so we had an amazing opportunity to meet with all of our executive leadership and learn about the direction of travel for the new year ahead. And I'm really excited about it. I think we've got a huge potential for us to dive into our mission, which is all around data security everywhere. And I think it's important for me to say at this point, that the channel is incredibly important for us. We are 100% aligned with our channel. We do all of our business through our channel partners. And so as I look ahead to next year, I'm really interested to think about how we can leverage the channel even further to be that force multiplier for us.
No, absolutely, 100%. So you mentioned data security everywhere. Can you potentially elaborate for our partners what exactly that is and why you feel it's the right approach for them and their customers?
Yeah, for sure. So I think, if we look at Forcepoint's heritage, we've got a really strong history around data security. We've grown up in this market and we really understand what it takes to secure any organization when it comes to their data. And if we look at what's happening in the world all around us today, there's a real challenge around providing robust data security solutions to our customers. So we're very focused on leveraging that heritage that we've got, but growing into the incredible market opportunity that exists all around us to provide data security everywhere, meaning that we secure the data no matter where it is or how people are accessing it or where they're accessing it from.
Absolutely. So in terms of network security, obviously you guys have quite a broad portfolio. Could you elaborate a bit more on that, what you guys offer and the kind of things you can do with it?
Yeah, I mean, network security is kind of the best kept secret within Forcepoint. Chris had mentioned DSE and how that combines, the other products that people are going to be more familiar with. But NetSec, like I say, our best kept secret. I think people would be quite surprised at the number of, nation state, defence organisations, central government organisations across the globe that actually rely on Forcepoint network security as their front line of defence. It's been a part of the business that we've been, focusing on growing for a few years, but actually this year we've made the decision, because it's not part of that kind of DSE strategy, that actually it's got a lot of focus within the business as its own separate business unit. And it's going to be a real area of focus and growth for us. And it's a really great product. It's got a load of USPs that are really important to the existing customers that we've got, and we think position us really well across the competition. So, streamlined management is something that's often spoken about. We kind of pioneered this idea around SD-WAN, multi-link technology as we called it back in the day. And it's a really simple product to get to grips with, so it's not something that requires years of ongoing education and training. It's something that someone familiar with firewalls can pick up and work with very quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really interesting what Stuart's saying there in terms of it being the best kept secret. I absolutely love that product, and our customers love that product as well. We've had customers that have been using that platform for years to run their networks at the highest level of security, and we have hundreds of thousands of these things deployed across just my theatre in Europe, but globally as well, of course. But yeah, we've maybe not highlighted that enough to our channel partners and to our customers in general. So we're really going to have a bigger focus on that this year. We've created this business unit that Stuart's mentioned. We've brought in a leader specifically to run that business unit globally, and we're going to make sure that our sales force are aligned around carrying that message to market and through our channel partners to make sure that we raise awareness of this important product in our portfolio.
No, that's really good. I like that, and I like how it's a separate unit. It allows you to, I suppose, have the right amount of focus and it not just be another part of the portfolio.
Yeah.
Can often get forgotten with a lot of vendors, I feel.
Yeah, and I think that's been levelled at us before, Tom. You know, when we've spoken about our firewall solution, I think partners have said to us before that, hey, it doesn't appear to have that level of focus that the rest of your portfolio does. And I think historically that would be fair to say, but that changes now. You know, we're resetting that from the start of this year with this new business unit. So you should expect to see lots more firewall messaging specifically around that product, but also, you know, us getting involved in events to raise awareness, to raise brand awareness, market awareness of this incredible solution that we have, you know. So we'll be seeing a lot more of that as we move through and into this year.
And just the final point on that, kind of the expertise that we have within the organisation is now super, you know, focus into this area of the business and not worrying about other technologies. So it means that we've got a lot of expertise that is available to people.
100%. No, I like that a lot. Just going back to channel briefly, how important a channel to your go-to-market for the year?
Yeah, incredibly important, Tom. I can't overstate how important the channel is to our success. You know, we simply cannot be successful without our channel partners. So yeah, we are absolutely lined up. Channel is right at the heart of my strategy now, and indeed it has been in the past, right? Nothing changes there. So we absolutely want to grow into those relationships that we've got. I think as we think about our go-to-market strategy, we have solutions that address different problems, different pain points that our customers are experiencing. And we need the partners there to help us to carry that message, you know, to become knowledgeable around our product portfolio, to develop skills around our product portfolio so we can realize the opportunity. Because I can say without a shadow of a doubt, every single customer out there today is buying security solutions. They're spending money on security solutions, and particularly around data security solutions now. So we've got this incredible opportunity, but to realize that, we absolutely need to make sure that we're enabling our channel community around us, make sure we're investing in that channel community with the appropriate training levels. And I know leveraging skills that you've got here at Arrow as well, with your accredited training center capabilities, right, to help carry that message out into channel partners.
Yeah, and we'll touch on that a bit later on in terms of what Arrow can do and how they can help support your engagements with Forcepoint. So just on that really, how can our channel partners ensure there's sort of a frictionless engagement and everything runs smoothly and get the most out of working with you guys?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing is that we have, you know, really close working relationships with our own channel team, right? We have our local teams that are able to make sure that we understand how to work together, how to get our opportunities, your opportunities, deal registered, to make sure that there is that slick interaction between our organizations, and make sure that we've got that protection in the sales cycle as well, so people feel comfortable to be open with the opportunities that they're working on, and make sure that that everything goes smoother when we get around to the close of that deal. But I think the other element is the development of the skills that I've mentioned as well. You know, all of our solutions, you know, to be deployed successfully require professional services.
Yeah.
And so there's an incredible opportunity for channel partners to develop their own skills in those areas so that they can begin to add value into the sales cycle and take control of how that solution is deployed.
I think just to add to that, from a customer experience perspective, you know, the channel partners, you guys, you're the ones who are day in, day out with that customer. You know a lot about their environments. So the additional knowledge that you've got, that kind of really, you know, brings something additional to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we'll touch on that a bit later in terms of what Arrow can offer. I suppose then tell me just a bit more about your customer base then. Who do you guys kind of generally work with? Where do you see you get the most success, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so we've got an incredible array of customers because our solutions scale up and down. We can service the very largest customers up at very large enterprise or the global 2,000 size of organizations, and our solutions scale all the way down to looking after kind of more of the mid-market customers. And if we look historically, where has the European business been particularly strong? You would say in the mid-market generally, but across Europe we have pockets where we've been much stronger, but the top end of the market, if you will.
Yeah.
And if I think about my go-to-market strategy for this year, then I want to make sure that we're covering the whole of the market. It's really important that we're servicing all of those different thousands of customers that we've got today. And the opportunity, I think, is twofold, right? We could either focus on the existing install base. We have across Europe probably 4,000 customers at least using our technology today. So there will be the opportunity to go into those customers to cross-sell, right? To sell other elements of our portfolio. But the other incredible opportunity that I'm excited about is that we can get out there and win net new logos. And if we think about what's happening all around us at the moment, Tom, and why there's a demand for data security solutions. We've seen a dramatic shift in the way that people are working over the last few years, particularly since the pandemic. Hybrid working has come to the fore. We're seeing the rapid development of Gen AI, and the impact of this is that people's data is beginning to spread anywhere and everywhere. So there's a need to protect that. But organizations, large and small, have generally lost visibility and control of their data. They don't understand what it is that they're trying to protect, where it is, who's accessing it, or what they're doing with it. And that's where DSPM and DLP, data security posture management, comes in here. It starts with the discovery and classification of an organization's data, and then we can rapidly move through that phase because we're powered by AI within our solutions to the point where we're getting to monitor and protect that data across all of the different channels that it could be accessed upon, including the web, Gen AI. We obviously offer CASB for all those cloud applications that are frequently in use. Customers large and small require those solutions, and we're uniquely positioned to offer a complete life cycle approach to that. So when I'm thinking about my customers, our customers, where we can grow next year, of course we have to talk to our existing customers and make sure that we're protecting them and looking after them in the best possible way. But I'm impatient to get after the rest of the market, right? All those customers that don't use Forcepoint today, and I want to get the message out there and evangelize and let people know about this incredible opportunity that we have to secure them.
And when you think we have about 4,000 customers, I think, across Europe, and whether we're talking about those 4,000 or new customers, Chris has kind of touched on how DSE dovetails into things like web security and CASB. For me, it's important that us as a vendor, you guys in distribution and channel partners are questioning customers' motivations, right? When they come talking about the need for a web security solution or a CASB solution, what's actually at the heart of the need that they've got? I think if we keep asking the question why, we'll go from, well, we want to block access to bad websites. Well, why do you want to do that? Eventually you get down to a data conversation, right? It's all about protecting the data within an organization. So for us, it's clear, right? People should be focused on data as kind of the first port of call and the reason that they're going into market to look for these sorts of solutions. And again, for our existing customer base, the DSE conversation dovetails onto the existing product set that many of them are using.
100%. And just going back to what Chris just touched on there, I think the data that your customers can see is just the tip of the iceberg, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely is the tip of the iceberg. As I've mentioned, this data sprawl that's happening. I mean, think about Gen AI just as one example. It's an incredible tool to drive the productivity of any workforce, right? Incredible. We can all get our jobs done much more quickly. But the impact of people using these Gen AI tools is that they potentially inputting confidential information into these large language models, and once it goes out there, you're never getting it back, right? We have to get a point of control there. But what we're seeing frequently is that people are beginning to use these Gen AI applications in an unsanctioned way. That is, we're seeing the rise of shadow IT, which security teams are getting pretty concerned about, when they may be blind to a large number of applications that are in use in their environment. So what Forcepoint will bring there is control, right? We're able to control that Gen AI channel and protect and stop data from leaking out into the universe, right? Which we're never going to get back. So you're quite right, Tom. They may have visibility of elements of their data, but the reality is that data is spread anywhere and everywhere now. And it's vitally important that security teams understand who's accessing that data, from what kind of device, and what are they doing with that data. And we include within our solutions, of course, risk adaptive protection. So we can spot if a user's behavior changes. So they may have authorized access to data today, but what if they start doing something different with that data? We can spot that change in behavior and elevate their risk score so that we can then take action and potentially block them from leaking data out. So yeah, what you see is only a part of the puzzle, right? But what we're going to bring for you through data security posture management, DSPM, right, is that discovery, classification, and prioritization of all of your data so that you can confidently stand in front of your business and say, yes, I have control, I understand what's happening here, and we are protected, we're safe from whatever it is that my users may do, in the ordinary course of things to get their jobs done.
It's about having a strategy, right? So Chris has mentioned about shadow AI, which is fine, right? And you need to protect against the use of shadow AI and understand, but then you might move to sanctioned applications, and it's no good, right? The problems don't stop just because you start sanctioning an application. You need to maintain that visibility and control that you've got to make sure that only the right data is being used across those different channels. And again, that's where Forcepoint, with the technology that Chris has mentioned, could really come and play a part for people.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, we're all conducting more and more of our professional lives online with SaaS applications, accessing data on the move. This is critically important, and it's also why I say that every single customer out there will be very interested to get engaged in this conversation, because they're all faced with exactly the same challenge, which is gaining that visibility and control of their data and what's going on. I view this as the very foundation of a security strategy for any organisation.
And that challenge is ever growing, right? And it's never going to go away.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yep.
Just to reiterate the importance. I suppose finally then, appreciate your time today, guys, but if you could summarise sort of your key asks of the channel off the back of this.
Yeah, well, my key ask of the channel, right? Firstly, take time to understand this incredible opportunity that we have ahead of us, please, because I think there's opportunity not just to sell the solution, but for channel partners to add on the professional services revenue as well, and getting a really good benefit there, and make sure that we're delighting our customers in deployment. That's critically important. I want to make sure that every customer that we sell to becomes a reference point for us, so that we can move forward and hopefully win the next new customer. So invest in your own skills, take time to learn about our solutions and how you can deploy them successfully. That would be an incredible thing for any channel partner to participate in, and we're all in to support channel partners in that. We will invest in that with yourselves to make sure we're getting our message out there. And just operationally, right, make sure that you're deal registering your opportunities, make sure that you're confidently bringing your opportunities to us, so that we can protect you in those sales cycles and make sure that we support you openly, because we are absolutely at your side in every sales engagement. And I will drive my sales team to work hand in glove with channel partners to make sure that we realise success together. I feel we've got an incredible opportunity ahead, particularly this year. This is when the data message DSPM is accelerating. We've got great support from the analysts. Gartner are driving awareness. The time is now to seize this opportunity ahead of us. So yeah, come with us on this exciting journey, and I'm sure it'll be a great time for all.
No, absolutely spot on. Well, again, appreciate your time today, guys. It's been really insightful. I hope our partners have found it insightful too. I'm going to pass over to one of my colleagues to sort of dive into a bit more around what Arrow can offer and how they can support on your Forcepoint journey. So I'll hand over to Will.
Great, so for this section we're joined by Will from Arrow, and Will's going to talk a little bit more around how Arrow can add some additional value. Will, I've got some questions for you, but maybe just a quick intro first.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Will Toombs. I'm one of the business development managers on the Forcepoint team here at Arrow.
Perfect. So Will, first question, right? Some partners out there who may not have worked with Forcepoint before, how can Arrow help support those partners from a technical perspective to ensure that they aren't missing out on any opportunities they've got with their customers?
Sure. Yeah, we understand a lot of partners might not have internal pre-sales resource when it comes to scoping opportunities for their customers. Fortunately, Arrow, we have a comprehensive pre-sales service that we can offer to them, whether it's scoping opportunities on behalf of their customers, or building different bill of materials, or even just providing general advice on different products and services and solutions.
Perfect. So you can fill the gaps, right, where they may have them. And what about from a commercial perspective as well?
Sure. Specifically towards renewals, where we proactively quote sort of anywhere up to 6 months and even kind of beyond that when we need to. We have an online platform, iAsset, where partners are welcome to sign up and they have direct access to their own renewals over the next however many months. So they have that sort of direct management line into what is going to happen over the next few months for them.
Excellent, okay. And then some customers out there, their budgets are going to be aligned based on an OPEX model rather than a CAPEX model. So have Arrow got any solutions that can help accommodate that style of procurement and assist with any financing options for customers and partners?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our Arrow Payment Solutions, APS. It allows partners to do a few different things. You can defer payments from anywhere from 30 days up to 120 days in certain scenarios, even beyond that. But then also you can split payments annually or quarterly or monthly even. It just empowers the partner to not let budget restrictions slow down an opportunity. But then I also think the key thing with that solution or service is that partners can recognise the total revenue up front. It's not a case of they're only going to recognise revenue when a deferment payment date is reached. They can recognise the total revenue up front so that budget restrictions aren't limiting whether or not the opportunity can be recognised here and now.
So a huge amount of flexibility for them?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'll make sure to include the details for our APS director grant in the details of this video. But by all means as well, any partners reach out to me. More than happy to get the ball rolling on that conversation. It's a truly powerful tool.
Great, all right. And then look, what challenges do partners typically face with global delivery, and how does Arrow help them overcome?
Yeah, global delivery is a very complex beast, because you're dealing with potentially kit being delivered to multiple different sites across the globe, all of which have their own specific regulations that need to be met. So there's many hiccups that can happen there potentially, but then also just kind of simple things that can go wrong: miscommunication with couriers, issues with supply chain. There's many things that can go wrong, especially for people that are operating in that field for the first time or are new to it. Fortunately, Arrow, again, we have another service, Global Delivery Service, GDS. We've been doing this for a long time. We are experts in this field. We have existing relationships with couriers across the globe. We know what we're doing when it comes to tax implications of all sorts of different areas. Some partners do like to be the importer and exporter of records still. And of course, we can facilitate that.
Mm-hmm. So it's business as usual, right, for Arrow? This is the stuff that you guys do day in, day out, and have a huge amount of expertise in.
It's our bread and butter, and partners have a lot more and other things on their plate than worrying about getting kit to a certain place. So let Arrow worry about the complexities of global delivery, and partners can worry about what's important to them.
Great answer. So similar to the first question around partners' capabilities with Forcepoint, does Arrow offer any assistance in regards to the install and deployment of Forcepoint solutions?
Absolutely, yeah. So we have our AAPP authorised Arrow partner program, where our professional services partners will fulfil any of ours or our partners or end users' professional services needs. These guys are all channel-only service delivery, so there's no land and expand that needs to be worried about there. And it has actually, as you're aware, been recently mandated by Forcepoint that any opportunity underneath 5,000 users is carried out by Arrow. And to sort of aid in the speed and how we can get pricing and costings out to partners, we've created these fast start packages, so customers can get pricing from us very quickly. But then for those that need a more bespoke offering, we can, of course, fulfill that with the right level of scoping.
And that mandate you mentioned, that's all around Forcepoint wanting to delight customers, right? Joint customers of everybody. And so absolutely, we feel that you guys are best aligned to be able to do with that. So you mentioned a couple of different types of services approaches there. So can those services be used simultaneously? And if so, how does that work?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think a lot of these services can feel very kind of siloed off and separate, but they work together in a more dynamic way, and that's when it gets truly powerful. So, for instance, we can have an end user has a need. Our pre-sales guys, they go in and scope, they find the right solution, they make sure all boxes are ticked there. We can then have our APS, our payment solution guys, make sure that budget restrictions aren't a problem. We can defer payments or split the payments to whatever's needed. And then our global delivery service can ship the kit to wherever it needs to be, whether you've got sites in South America and in Asia and Europe, or they're all in one nation, whatever it is, we'll fulfill that. And then when the kit arrives, our professional services guys can install, deploy, configure.
Perfect. So the approach to rubber stamping sort of services, right? That's really important for both sides of us. So in terms of enabling partners to attain Forcepoint certification, how can Arrow assist with that?
Yeah, so Arrow Education has been around for something like 20 years. It could be even more than that. So again, we're very established players in this field. Fully authorised vendor trading for Forcepoint, but then also a whole host of other vendors. We can do in-person sessions, we can do virtual sessions, essentially anything in that field for Forcepoint Education, then get in touch, because we can fulfill the need.
And there's no limitation, right? You can do multiple employees at once.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do something where it's multiple employees at once, get in touch with us and we'll sort something out. We'll make it work to fit you. There are, of course, the standard kind of templates you can use for an in-person event or a virtual event. But if you need something with a little bit more of a bespoke touch, then let us know.
So it's a really good point, right? So you mentioned bespoke approach to training there. So who can a partner speak to, within Arrow, if that kind of, option doesn't exist at the moment?
Sure. I mean, whilst we have our complete Arrow Education dedicated team that can handhold you through every step of the process, quite frankly, for anything Arrow, anything Forcepoint at Arrow, get in touch with myself. More than happy to get the conversation started there.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Will.
No worries. Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. In this next section of the video, as Will alluded to a little earlier, he spoke about Arrow's professional service offering. I'm joined here with Kate Wilson from our professional services team. Kate, if you just want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Kate Wilson. I work in the Arrow professional services team. I've been with the team for about 10 years now, and I've been leading the development of the project to deliver Forcepoint professional services.
Spot on. So I've got a few questions really around this, and to sort of enable our partners and let them understand and learn a bit more about what we do and why we do it. So why initially did Arrow and Forcepoint enter into a partnership to deliver these services?
So Arrow and Forcepoint both recognised a need to be able to deliver professional services in a way that could be measured, could be delivered correctly. We wanted to make sure that the customers could see a real true return on investment. And the best way to achieve that is to make sure that the professional services are up to scratch. So, everyone gets the occasion where a customer says, I've had a demo, the product isn't doing what I want it to do, can you help us? We wanted to cut that part out, make sure that whatever the customer has purchased, they're actually seeing that return on investment straight away because the professional services have been done correctly. It makes sure that the customer has access to these skills in a way that's easy for them to access. So we can put that direct link through from the quoting of the deal right through to professional services. And it means that we have the breadth then to service every customer, just regardless of the size. So Arrow are focusing on deals with fewer than 5,000 users. And it just means that every customer gets the opportunity to access that professional services.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's just a key point there that, Forcepoint will still be doing professional services above that 5,000 user bracket, product dependent. But again, it's just to sort of show you the extra value distribution can add and how we can help with these sorts of opportunities and take a bit of the load off Forcepoint where we can. Mm-hmm. So just on that then, how have Arrow's PS packages sort of been developed over the time period to meet the customer demand?
So we used a wealth of experience delivering PS to identify what we think customers would need, and we built the offering around that. We consulted with the guys at Forcepoint to understand what they wanted us to deliver and how they wanted it delivered. And our aim was to offer highly skilled consultants, but in a way that was easy for the customer to understand and sell. And we also wanted to make sure that we had channel-friendly pricing in there as well.
Of course.
So we developed the range of package services with some simple sales overlays, so that our partners can go sell those onto their end users. The packages can be included at the point of quoting so that the customer can see the full deal cost up front, reduce the amount of time it takes to get that pricing back for services, which can sometimes cause delay. But then we also still kept the bespoke professional services as well. So if there was something that the customer wanted doing that didn't meet our packages, we're more than happy to scope it out and work to exactly what they want.
Yeah, so you can cover any requirement essentially, whether it's a fast start, preloaded thing or something that requires a bit more scoping.
Yeah, 100%.
So just again, alluding back to what Will sort of mentioned earlier, you mentioned the Arrow Authorised Partner Programme or the AAPP. Can you just elaborate a bit more on that and what that is?
Yeah, of course. So it was established a few years ago now. It was designed to provide our customers with access to highly skilled consultants without them having to do the groundwork themselves. So all of our partners are handpicked. They all follow a channel-only delivery model. We've ensured that it's all channel-friendly pricing. We worked with Forcepoint, particularly here, to select a specific Arrow authorised partner who we thought would be the right fit. And then we made sure that we got them the right level of certifications. And we've been working directly with the guys at Forcepoint to make sure that technically everything meets their expectations. So all of the consultants that are delivering these packages are fully certified, and they've all gone through the Arrow authorised partner vetting.
Yeah, amazing. So how can our customers engage with the AAPP then in that case?
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways. So any deals that are coming through to the Forcepoint team, obviously we're in conversation, we're making sure that we're quoting, and we're putting the customers directly in touch with our PS team, and a member of the PS team will be reaching out if our customers receive quotes with PS on it. Alternatively, they can get in touch via our consultancy booking address, which we'll include on the video. The consultant's booking address takes the customer through to a dedicated project desk. Access to project desk is free of charge with every opportunity. And we're there to help coordinate the project for the customer, ensure customer satisfaction, and we're there from quoting right through to delivery and beyond. That means that we can work in partnership with our authorised partners and with Forcepoint to do a really seamless delivery of the project and make sure that all parties are involved all the way through.
No, amazing. Well, no, appreciate your time. I'm going to hand back over to Will now. There we have it, everyone. We hope you find that informative. Obviously, there's a lot of topics we could cover, and we're going to look to do that further down the line. So keep your eyes peeled for more and more of these videos coming out. We're going to look from a channel perspective and hopefully a technical perspective as well at some point. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled for further content.
Yeah, and as Tom said, we covered plenty of topics today. So if there's anything you'd like to dive a bit deeper into, then get in touch with us. You can reach us at forcepoint.ecs.uk@arrow.com. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Looking forward to hearing from you.